My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire. Whew, okay, so we've already done the daily for today, so what are we going to do? It's a bit weird. I feel directionless now that we don't have the Ascensions to guide us. As much as the Ascensions were, you know, capital A, capital T, time, TM. We do have to figure out what we do without them. I kind of just feel like doing a Shiv build with the Silent right now, so I'm just going to do that. Obtain a random colorless uncommon card. Purity, okay. Exhaust up to 3 cards in your hand and exhaust itself at cost 0. So it's a way to thin down our deck in play, rather. Okay, so I can get 3 question marks and no rest if I go on the right side. Alright, fair enough. Will Purity out those defends? Because with 3 strikes in the opening hand, and knowing that my next hand still has defensive cards left in it, I know that I'm going to be reaching for lethal within, like, 2 turns. And I was! Got the Cultist. Sucker Punch, Dagger Throw, outmaneuver? Probably none right now, but... Always sucks to pass up an early decision when you've got a elite looming soon thereafter. 1 strike and 1 defense, so I'm more consistent on drawing these slimes that the enemy is going to put into my deck. Sorry, I meant more consistent on drawing Neutralize and Survivor, of course. 2 strikes. Well, we struck out 2 times. Literally both of the strikes were on the bottom of the deck. Hell yeah. Good work, game. 1,000 cuts. I haven't had a 1,000 cuts deck in a really long time. I want to do it. Whenever you play a card, deal 1 damage to all enemies. It is a very interesting way to play. You just play 1,000 cuts and then just try your best to generate as many cards as is humanly possible. Can get pretty wild. That is to say, generate and play as many cards as is humanly possible. Backflip, Sneaky Strike, Dagger Spray. None of those specifically work with 1,000 cards, but Backflip is just a nice general card. Impatience would probably work with this deck. Tools of the Trade. Maybe. Deflect would. Alright. That's Impatience. That's Deflect. Cool. Whoa, okay. Oh, remove a card. All right. We could get this to be with Purity for removal during the battle as well as Impatience. We just need like another low-cost draw, like an escape plan, and we can just cycle through the Impatiences forever until the 1,000 cuts kills. We'll remove a defensive card though, because I still need the aggression to get past these elites in the early game. Should have played the deflect at the very end there for the very small amount of defense it would have provided. I have to focus on offense over defense, so I'm accepting 5 damage here. Weakening them this turn saves me 5 damage this turn, and it'll save me 5 damage on the turn where they start attacking again. Unless I end up killing them that turn, I'm not seeing how to get 33 HP down in a single round of combat here. Okay. So ultimately that weakness potion saved us 9? Yeah, 9 HP. It's not half bad. Alright. more zero-cost cards in this deck, and then we probably also throw in... Actually, I don't know. I can't be prepared. It has to be a card neutral card, whereas prepared is card negative. Prepared itself is a card you have to draw and play, and then itself, it draws a card and discards a card. So it is equal itself, but you have to play prepared. So it's card negative. Which means that you can't use it. I mean, you could use it with an Impatience that is drawing 2 cards or 3 cards, right? Because it's compensating, but it's much easier to just do other things instead. I burn those defends because I know kind of in general how the pace of the battle is going to go. Also, I either take 9 damage this turn or 4, so take the 4. And happily, I knew I was playing enough cards that turn to kill. Backstab, deflect. Backstab is a way to get more aggression in the early here, and it burns itself out of our deck, so it doesn't weigh us down. Flash of Steel card removal. It's so extremely that. Now we just need the deck to get thinner. Thread and Needle started combat with 4 plated armor. Hell yeah. Alright, I just gotta get through one more elite. And I'm gonna have to purity all of those out because they're skills. So I just want as many attacks as is possible. So that turn, 1,000 Cuts did 2 damage. All it needs to do is 4 more damage before the fight ends, and it'll be helpful. I'm actually going to use the Swift Potion. I'm looking for Neutralize. Hell yes. Alright, now it has actually provided benefit to me. And that's the kill. That's all they wrote. Ornamental Fan. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Hell yeah. Bunch of cards I can't take because we're planning an infinite. I love that. Getting the full block that turn despite being nothing but aggressive. We need the 1,000 Cuts upgraded as soon as possible. That's why I'm veering off to the left here. Just to collect my upgrade. Get that 1,000 Cuts upgrade. It's twice as effective as it was before. Hell yeah. Woo! Fight me. Yeah. Ooh, and it's the Sentries. I've been looking for the Sentries the entire time because this is exactly the combat I wanted to be in. Of course it was. Play the Impatience there as well. That's my bad. I think I'm actually just going to burn the Purity out of the deck. So we'll take 1 damage here. It's annoying. Never mind. Looks like ultimately we'll be okay. 1, 2, deflect. Vajra studies come with 1 strength. Envenom. See, with Envenom, with Vajra and Ornamental Fan, I'm already kind of inching in the direction of just making a bunch of shivs and having the shivs trigger the 1,000 Cuts a bunch. But that build would also take Envenom. But I think the build that I want to do, the Infinite, doesn't take Envenom, so. Oh well. Another card remove. Whoa, finesse! Hell yeah! Alright. There's like a whole thing going on here. This is gonna be excellent. Let's get Impatience's card draw up. Still need some more removal, obviously, but we've got time to get that. Hell of a lot of attacks in a single turn right there. I want to be defensive next turn. Yeah. I do. For some reason, I knew that the upcoming hand was just going to be overwhelmingly defensive. I don't know. Just had a hunch. Alright. Then I want to play as many cards as I can this turn. It looks like I can play more cards next turn, so I'll let them put the slimes in my deck. Well, that seems like a bad idea as well. Alright, we're just gonna roll with one of the bad ideas. Patience. Oh yeah, get that card draw. And let's get another slime down the deck, sure. So we only need to play 5 cards next turn to kill both of the frontliners. Which, yes, as it turns out, is not that difficult at all. Alright. No. Well, Doppelganger... So, hang on. How thick does our deck have to be, right? Max hand size is 10. How many of these cards exhaust? Well, 1, 2, 3... 3 of them exhaust, and then Purity can exhaust 3 others, so a maximum of 6. So we've got a deck size of 12. 12 when 9 of them are cards that don't rotate. 3 of them are cards that rotate, but the thing is, this card only rotates as long as we don't have any other strikes in hand, which I can't burn all of those with a Purity. So effectively what I'm deciding is whether or not Doppelganger sets us up for like a turn 2 infinite. I don't think it does, but I think it gets us closer. We definitely can't take Snack away. It immediately kills the entire thing. So I have to take the Coffee Dripper. Gain energy at the start of each turn. You can no longer rest at rest sites. Which also means that we want this deck to shift a little bit more defensive. So we want to upgrade our defense first and things like that. Just so that we can live while we do this whole thing. Just let me live! Alright, finesse. Yeah, I wanted the full defense. Neutralize strike and patience. Woo! Alright. And here we go. Now it's just time to focus on that frontliner. Impatience for the extra draw. Finesse also got him. Weave nothing. Thank you. Remove a card from our deck. Yes, we want to do that every time we get the option. So remove a strike, obviously. Alright, Deflect. What have you got? Actually going to Doppelganger this turn. Get myself that extra draw, extra energy. I'll Flash of Steel to put it in the discard pile. Then I'm going to backflip. Purity out the 3 skills, because obviously I'm not going to want them in the deck giving me hexes. I'll Finesse, though. And Impatience, because even though they're generating dazed, they're ultimately card positive for us. Potion, another deflect. Yeah, probably too much there. Get our 4 block easily. Finesse, steel, damn. Alright, this is a pretty low impact Purity. 1,000 cuts backflip. Neutralize. Oh, chucking the survivor as well. And hell yeah, that's the full done. All right. And then we've got the debuff turn coming up as well. So this should work out nicely. Should have probably finesse before I impatience there. Because I wanted finesse in the new deck because it's just free damage for us. Free with an F. Alright. Pretty much anything ought to be able to deal lethal this turn, so... Yep, that'll do it. Concentrate expertise. If I had one of each, maybe. Oh gosh. Can we win this? That is to say, the second combat this obviously implicates us in. Can we win it? I'm gonna use a Swift Potion here. Damn it! I just wanted the zero-cost cards. There's literally all of the cards left in my deck could be cast if I drew them. Such lame. I feel like maybe I kill the gremlin knobs. I don't know. I feel like I want to try. Yeah, let's do it. We're not in high ascension. It's time to have fun. Especially if I get purity out this turn. Unfortunately, it's only burning a single deflect, and I know that the rest of the deck is like all defensive. Which is a problem. Alright, I'm gonna doppelganger there. It exhausts the doppelganger as well as gives us a much better next turn. Draws us hopefully past all the defensive cards that were still left in the deck. Okay, Gremlin Knob in the back line is now dead. We'll impatience and start focusing on the frontliner. Now I think I can actually start playing skills as well. Yeah, which seems to be working pretty much a treat. Alright, so we did lose a fair bit of HP there, but ultimately we're going to come away with 2 relics. We got Birdface Urn whenever we play a power, heal for 2 HP, as well as the Paper Crane. Enemies with weak deal 40% less damage rather than 25% less. And Escape Plan. Escape Plan obviously works with this kind of whole strategy, synergy kind of thing. Let's get Purity upgraded. So we can burn more cards in an optimal situation. Thousand cuts. Backstab, neutralize. Now I can hit the impatience. Escape Plan. Alright. So I do basically just want to be attacking this whole time if I can get it. I'm gonna doppelganger around and burn these cards, actually. Our weakness plus our ornamental fan seems like it can probably keep us afloat. Attack 3 times here. We do need to get more strikes out of the deck so the impatience is much more usable consistently. Like, it's doing okay right now, but it could be better. I really thought that this boss fight actually might end up killing me. I still am kind of readjusting to being on not, you know, high ascension. It's actually like a super weird adjustment period. It might contribute to me taking more risks as well, because every time I think something's gonna kill me, it doesn't. Like, those 2 knobs didn't kill me. That enemy didn't kill me. Let's get the upgrade on the neutralize. It seems like really, really powerful because of the Paper Crane. Strawberry, raise your max HP by 7. Not half bad. Unfortunately, we have to use Impatience for the draw, but has to happen from time to time. And then Purity burns 4 cards. Hell yeah. Good work, Purity. So we've got a 12 card deck. I think this actually might have it after like a Flash of Steel or something like that. Not a Flash of Steel, sorry. A big Doppelganger. I think we might actually have this. Enemy dealing 27 damage. I'm defended for 10. I can defend myself for another 13 if I play both the Survivor and Defender. I could perfect if I played the Speed Potion. But if I accept a lot of the damage here instead, that is to say just 9 of it. Yep. This should help us get a lot of damage out there. Then we backflip. Neutralize. Get more cards, because there's more draw in there. Hell yeah. And we could have continued cycling through if I didn't accidentally throw the Impatience back in. Oops. That's okay, though. Proof of concept. Shouldn't have played that strike before I played the backflip, definitely. That's a huge mistake on my part right there. Thankfully, it doesn't matter at all. Everyone's dead. Jutsu Bracelet, regular enemy combats are no longer in canon question mark rooms. Blade Dance would be a way to get this going on. Well-laid plans is actually useless. Yeah. Like, it'd be good if I wanted the deck to go for that many turns. But ideally, we just play everything out. Blade Dance has a lot of triggers of the 1,000 cuts, but no thank you. Again, we're going with the infinite build. It's going to be cooler. It's going to be fun. It's going to be flashy. It's going to be hip. It's going to be happening. It's going to be there. It's going to be all of that and a bag of chips. Take the 99 gold there, though. Thank you for the easy Impatience. 1,000 cuts finesse back. Alright, we're really getting on top of this now. Purity is only going to get 2 cards this time, which is a little bit of an underperformance, but that's okay. I need to be removing more cards from the deck. Backliner is just eventually going to die due to the things that I'm doing. That's kind of my operating assumption. I don't really worry about them. They're just going to die when they die. Come on, that's got to be it now, right? There we go. Just eyeballing it. Nope. None of any of that. Alright, new elite time. Basically, how well we do on the elites is based on how early we get 1,000 cuts. Oh, burning all those strikes in defense there feels so good. I'm going to lose 15 HP in this combat, though. Thankfully, we've got Pantograph to heal us at the start of the boss combat. Alright, Impatience for the extra draw. Alright, I think we're now in the position where we can just focus on the mainliner. And everyone else will just die of their own accord. Perfect. One more relic for me. One giant pillow for mankind. Whenever you rest, you may add, or rather you may heal an additional 15 HP. Terra burns itself out of the deck, and it makes killing a lot of targets much easier. It's not going to make killing the boss on this floor much easier. And next floor, it'll help with some of them. I'll still take it. It's going to be really good in normal floor combats. I do want the 3 extra damage on Flash of Steel, actually. Just because of how commonly we play it. Heal 25 entering the boss fight. That's like a really good opportunity for me to just get all of the powers in play that I needed to and set up for the future. Hell yeah. All right. Purity needs to burn like 5 cards. So finesse, backflip, escape plan. I want to get like 3 strikes and 2 defends probably. Looks good. They're going to be taking... They could basically take anything they want from my deck right now. Alright, so I'm actually going to have to start working on an individual target here as well, just in case. You took Finesse, that's pretty annoying. Took Impatience, that's also pretty annoying. Thankfully, because I already have the 1,000 cuts in play, I know that I was going to still have damage after the enemy took my stuff, which, you know, isn't always the case. And, you know, that could be blamed on anyone who is also me. Of course, if you don't know what I'm referring to, then I'm not referring to anything and it never happened. So, that's cool. That's a fun thing. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to weaken the mainliner. Not in time. Maybe, actually. Let's try it. Our Impatience back. Alright, and now we've got the weaken on, and we're pretty well defended. And we just keep cycling. Oops. Through the Impatience because I forgot that I had the strike in the hand. And yeah, now we're not going to continue cycling. Yeah, so this is very like semi-infinite. Like it's got a ridiculous amount of value, but the thing that is, because I leave a strike in the deck every single time, I end up disabling it just because I'm a bit dumb. Just a bit dim. I'm definitely playing a lot of these in the wrong order. It's ultimately not going to make a difference because every single turn I have the overwhelming value. Like, Impatience is our card draw. It needs to happen after all of the neutralizers and stuff are out of my hand is the problem. So I'm going to put the neutralizer in the new deck. Yeah, now I can't even play the strike. Fair enough. See? Has a lot of value, but not infinite currently. There's your 30 incoming damage, so I'll focus on defense now. But I actually think I have lethal if I just go for lethal. Which is a pretty appealing statement. So I'm gonna start reaching in that direction if you don't mind. Okay. We've got it. Hell yeah. Goodbye, Bronze Automaton. Thinking you could get me. After Image is actually surprisingly good. Play it once, get it in play forever, and then I'll basically be defended because I play a ridiculous amount of cards every single turn anyway. I can't wait to see the Time Eater, by the way, on the next floor. That's going to be really cool just to see them right there and have to deal with them instantaneously. Oh, God. Oh, why did I not think about the Time Eater? What we need is Abacus and Body Slam from the other classes. So Prismatic Shard, I guess? That can't always be what saves us. I don't think we need the intangibility. I actually don't think we need the extra block either. I think increasing the size of the deck at this point is just a great horrible idea. Replaces Ring of the Snake at the start of your turn, draw 1 additional card. 1 additional card is really big, though. 1 additional card every turn? Very big. 2 cards removed from the deck? That's pretty big as well. All right, we're going to remove those 2 strikes right there. Give me a Chain of Shops. I long to remove. Okay, I have 3 elites. Or I can have 2 elites and 2 removals. It's our boss as well, by the way. Okay, it's the awakened one. Nice. Dodged the insta-loss. Alright, impatience. Let's see what we got going on around here. We can even double gangster there because we've already got the damage. Locked. Finesse, escape, backflip. Flash. Neutralize has to get out of hand as well, and then Purity everything. Go for a whole new deck. Hell yeah. This is one of those infinites that emerges over the course of play. We need to remove all of the other strikes now, because those two impatiences actually perfectly get everything done. All right, card removal? No. Ah, yes, this is now the Orb Walker combat. We'll take it on, as long as they don't both double burn us in the first hand, which they don't actually. Hell yeah, it's pretty good. Good lord, the impatiences. Deflect, backflip, and... I'm going to Gambler's Brew 2 of these cards just so that I can get to the Neutralize and the Flash of Steel, because that's a ridiculous amount of block that just provided us, being able to do those 2 things there. I'm going to be taking 1 damage. But ultimately... Hell yeah, impatiences. Go off. We've got this. We've got this so much that I don't even have to play well. Hell yeah. Ginger, you can no longer become weakened. So we can't become weakened or frail. That's super cool. Ah, card removal. Wanted card removal. Rhapsody want card removal. Give Rhapsody card removal. Why won't you give Rhapsody card removal? Do I want a question mark or a rest? Because a question mark is actually another removal opportunity. Could be a shop. Upgrade all cards. You can no longer heal. I'm actually kind of into that. Like, I can't really heal outside of the 25 HP I get at the start of the boss fight anyway. No, but I think I might need that. I'm going to take the rare relic from fighting a boss. I know, it's the boring option. I know. Damn it. Purity isn't in the same hand as Strike. So I haven't got my infinite set up yet. I need Purity in the same hand that I overdraw like a bunch of defense. There's a great neutralize right there. Flip, finesse, deflect. I will take 2 damage this turn if I play Doppelganger, but I can Purity the 3 cards that I want to remove. Gotta do it. Neutralize, Impatience, Flash of Steel, Neutralize Impatience. Splash of Steel, neutralize Impatience. This is what I was trying to build basically the entire time, by the way. Just gotta make sure that I always look as to what the upcoming card is, because I'm cycling more than just one. And I can't leave the neutralize in my hand at this point because it prevents the impatiences. Neutralize is a little bit on the chopping block as well. Gambling Ship. At the start of each combat, discard as many cards as you'd like and then draw that many. That's going to help us set up our opening hand to be perfect. We should be able to go off from turn 1. The thing is, going off from turn 1 actually means that we don't want 1,000 cuts. No, 1,000 cuts is our way of dealing damage. Alright. Let's get 1,000 cuts out in play. Yeah, I figured this was going to be the case. Purity is going to have to be a setup for later. Sorry, we're going to have to use the doppelganger there to set up for using Purity later. There we go. Backflip. Purity burns, a strike, a defend, and 2 burns. Because I couldn't play an Impatience before burning the strike, and I didn't want to play the strike because then I can't burn it. Yeah, I think we're actually at our infinite already. The problem is it's currently against an enemy who's intangible. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, Oh, but the thing is, this infinite doesn't come back as easily because I don't have the extra draw guaranteed. Right, the next card in my deck is Flash of Steel. Hang on. If I can get the next card in my deck to be Impatience, which it is now, I think I'm going to end my turn. I think with the 2 upgraded Impatiences, we're going to be... yeah. We're card positive enough on our draw that we can actually get into the infinite without using Doppelganger as the setup. That's super cool. Okay. Just trying to make absolutely certain that I haven't screwed something up here. Because this win is important to me. I called my shot. I called my shot in the opening that we were going to do this. Ancient Tea said, whenever we went to a rest site, start the next combo with 2 extra energy, as well as just like a bunch of nothing. Bottled Flame upon pick up Juice's attack. Start each combat without attack card in your opening hand. Sure, Flash of Steel. This is an elite encounter now. Okay. Let me throw that on the main liner. Oh, we're running out of draw. Okay. Alright, I'm actually just going to Purity those 3 and then roll off first Impatience. 1,000 cuts. And Doppelganger. Yeah. That's the problem, those wounds. I knew that was going to be the problem in this fight as well. Thankfully, I'll still probably play so many cards in a turn that it'll be okay, but still. Just not going to be keeping the entire infinite in hand at all times. Which is okay. There's an appeal to that as well. Wait, never mind. I am basically going to be keeping the entire infinite in hand at all times. Cool. I don't know if there's an assortment of these cards that doesn't continue. Played correctly, the infinite. Alright. Awesome. Nope, don't want that. We've got the tiny chest gun, gain 30 gold on pickup and 10% more likelihood to find treasure in question mark rooms. Let's upgrade that finesse. All right. That's actually probably good enough. Terror on the front line, impatience, and yeah, then I don't even need to go infinite here at all. It's just cast a lot of cards. I could probably stop focusing and be totally fine. Kill him with the doppelganger. Nothing doing on any of those. Another card removal opportunity here. Oh my god, the abacus. Whenever you shuffle your discard pile, gain 6 blocks. Sure. Whoa. Wow. Card remove, another strike. Hell yeah. And we'll take the Gremlin Horn. Whenever an enemy dies, gain an energy and draw a card. I could use the Masterful Stab because I'm unlikely to lose HP over the course of the combat, and it would just be a lot of extra damage to kick in. But this Infinite already does it itself. I don't really need to add extra frills into it right now. Alright. That should be a setup for a win now. Okay, neutralize needs to get out, so I'm actually just gonna... all of those. Don't need any of that. I mean, I can literally now just finesse Flash of Steel, finesse Flash of Steel, finesse Flash of Steel. It's actually probably the best way to get this done. And the Abacus is just giving us a ridiculous amount of block every single time. So even if it was the Time Eater, just by being able to get our deck to a point where we can do this, we would be fine. The Abacus is such a godsend for infinite builds going against the Time Eater. It's so good. Like, I can take the extra escape plan, but I don't need it. Smith one more time. And we'll show that escape plan some love. Probably going to use the extra energy here in the first turn. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It's everything I ever wanted and more. Alright. 8,000 cuts. Flash of Steel out there. Alright, Patience number 1. That Neutralize actually needs to get out of the deck as well. Purity burns, neutralize, defense, defense, defense. Yeah, all that. I could keep Survivor and burn deflect instead. Doesn't seem to matter, actually. Yeah, it literally doesn't matter. We now win. Finesse. Patience. Patience is now in the discard pile. Cool, so now we've got it out. And it's Finesse. Alright, Finesse Flash of Steel can go forever now, so we can play the Doppelganger, get that out of our hand. And then we just Finesse Flash of Steel until the Awakened One's first form is dead. Gaining a ridiculous amount of block the entire time, hell yeah. Because the Impatience draws 3 cards, because it is 2 card positive, right? Because, again, remember, it has its own card cost. Because of that, we could have been using the Masterful Stab as our way of dealing damage. The inclusion of... But it would have been a problem for doing specifically this cycle, because then I would have 2 attacks in my deck, so I couldn't... Well, actually, no, I would just be able to do the same thing anyway. I just don't think it was necessary. And it clogs up that early draw that is super important for setting up the Infinite. Those Impatience, those were part of the Infinite, but now they're just set up for the Infinite. It's just Flash of Steel and Finesse. It could have been Finesse, Finesse. It could have been Finesse, Escape Plan. It could have been double Escape Plan. It could have been double Flash of Steel, right? Because they are 0 cost. Truly 0 cost. Deflect is 0 energy cost. Escape plan is 0 cost. Ish. In this circumstance, it's important to note. Cards have lots of different costs. Okay. And now we get the full hand. By the way, this is another thing that seemed to confuse people a while ago when I was doing a semi-infinite that died against the automaton on the second floor. A card does not draw itself. Have a look at this. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to get 2 cards in hand. All right. Let me use impatience here so I can show you what I mean. I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? Damn it. I need to have the full hand and nothing in the discard pile. Anyway, if you rewind, you'll see it, right? I play a finesse at the very start of the combat and it doesn't draw anything. And the reason it doesn't is because the draw effect occurs before finesse hits the discard pile. So it's not in the discard pile, which means there's nothing in the draw pile, nothing in the discard pile. You can't draw. Otherwise, you would only need 1 finesse or 1 flash of... Literally, Flash of Steel would be the most dangerous card in the game if that was possible. Because you just cut your deck down to, 10 cards, have one of them be Flash of Steel, draw up to 10 in any combat anyway, and then just Flash of Steel until you win. I probably should have just been executing the infinite the entire time while I was talking there. Whoops. Yeah, Terror was a card that I put in this deck just to enhance the infinite in terms of damage. I mean, 1,000 Cuts itself could actually be considered a card that's only in this deck to enhance the damage of the infinite as well. Because both of them are cards that exhaust. Both of them, well, obviously, 1,000 Cuts is played and it's a power, but it's no longer in your deck. So that's effectively what I'm calling exhaust here. You have to deal with neither of them after the first time you play them, effectively. And they're just there to amplify your damage from that point on. Unfortunately, the Awakened one has also purged. See, this is the problem that I was also considering when I was thinking about picking up Terror, which is the Awakened one purges halfway through the fight as they die, right? The Time Eater purges halfway through the fight as long as you don't kill it quickly enough. And Donu and Deca start the combat with 3 artifacting each. So I was wondering whether or not Terror was actually going to be effective. But when I realized that I have enough draw that its card cost is negligible, it became a reasonable option. Alright, Awakened One. Simply 7 more years and you'll be dead. I think this is actually the kind of infinite episode I prefer as well. We got our infinite assembled in maybe the last 10 spaces before it actually started really rolling. And because of that, it's not just, I set up my infinite halfway through the second floor and then from then on execution. The only point at which from now on it is execution was halfway through this floor. Yeah, not bad. And that's the Awakened one down. Unfortunately, we did not perfect the first floor or the second floor boss, I don't believe, so we're not going to be getting a ridiculous amount of, a ridiculous score there, unfortunately. Or rather, we won't get a ridiculous score there, unfortunately. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.